Hey everyone, it's me, Prince Caius here, and this is the third part to What If Deku Was a Vampire, Part 3. This is not going to be the end of the series and all my other ones. It's going to go past 3. It just needs to be wait until the next season ends or begins. So, intro. It's time for the UA Festival. Deku got first in the race by using One for All, Speed Magic, and Vampire Speed. Deku versus Shinsho. Deku stops time with time manipulation magic and pushes Shinsho or whatever his name is, out of the ring. Deku versus Shoto Todoroki. Deku waited until Shoto used his fire side and ice side, because remember Deku did tell Todoroki that his fire side is his, not his father's. When Shoto did started using his fire and ice, Deku teleported the ice and fire into another dimension. When Shoto noticed that it was not gonna do nothing to Deku for just putting that just shooting random fire and ice around, he just ran towards Deku and tries to hit him. But Deku dodges and punches, starts to punch and kick. But Deku's vampire instincts kicked in and controlled him. So Deku did bite Shoto Todoroki and drinks a little bit of his blood and won't release Deku. And Todoroki noticed that he's distracted and he starts to use his fire and ice up close. And Deku gets hit, but all of a sudden Deku grabs Todoroki and throws him into the wall and starts to turn into a monster. Deku became a vampire that loves blood, like fully loves blood, because he never had blood in his life until now. But something else was going on as well. He noticed that he was not that he was transforming into something else. His ears started growing longer and sharper. His fangs started to grow a little bit longer, but his bottom teeth became like a canine. And he noticed that he might be half vampire, half werewolf. A liking from that one movie that I forgot the movie's name, but Deku is now full-blood Lycan. Why didn't he turn into a Lycan in the beginning is because my version of a vampire turns into a full-blood if they drink blood. Real human blood. And this is the first time Deku drunk a human's blood. But he could not control himself, okay? So Deku then ran to Shoto Todoroki and tried to drink his blood again. But the heroes stopped Deku in the nick of time, and Deku gets back into control and then teleports away so he won't hurt anyone. While he was gone, he was asking himself what he is then, over and over. All of a sudden, he hears a voice. It said, "You're a liking. Your mother was a werewolf that was an alpha, and I was a vampire lord. And yes, my son, it is me, your father, Count Dracula, or Dracula, whatever you want to call him." Deku tried to run to his dad, but couldn't because he was under a spell of his father's. Deku was trying to punch him, but was under his spell. Deku asked why is he a liking. Dracula told him that he wants to have a liking son so he can see how strong a lichen that is stronger than him or as strong as him. Deku then tries to hit his father, but misses because Dracula teleports away from the area and Deku couldn't locate him, so he was like, fine, I'm just gonna go to the UA festival. And time for Deku versus Bakugo. Deku used his new speed, his liking speed, half vampire, half werewolf, from the movie Underworld. That's what it's called, I remember now. Deku used his new speed, okay, so, and hits Bakugo so hard it makes almost all of Bakugo's bones break. Deku notices that how strong he is and how fast he is, but wants to see how fast he can go without using any magic or anything, just his raw speed and power. Deku notices that he is stronger than he used to and was faster than he used to be. So Deku got first place. Bakugo got second place. Shoto Todoroki got third place. What Deku can do is basically run a mile around in a few seconds. And he can basically 1 mile he can run in like 5 seconds. 15 miles he can run about, his fatigue and all that is like enhanced because he's a vampire and he's a lichen, so he is going to be faster and stronger in many ways, and it's going to be harder to control his bloodlust. When Deku is about to leave, he uses one of his new moves that he got from being a lichen on Uraraka, and Uraraka followed Deku home. When Deku closed the door, by the way, Uraraka wasn't like following him, like, you know, right next to him. She was like literally behind him, stalking him. So when Deku closed the door, he noticed that Uraraka was at the front door, and he opens it, and Deku grabs Uraraka and puts her inside and stops using the new move that he got on her. Uraraka asks where she is. She like what? Like, where am I? Deku told her that she's at his place, and she followed him, and he used a new move on her. Uraraka obviously slaps Deku and makes a red mark on Deku's face, and tells him that he shouldn't have done that, and he shouldn't do that again. Deku then asks if she wants dinner while she's here, and he promises her that he won't do it again. Uraraka told him that she has to go home soon because her family is going to be worried. Deku grabs her phone and calls her family, and Uraraka's family picks up, and Deku told them that Uraraka is going to stay with him tonight because it's too late for her to leave, because it's like it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Not afternoon, it's 12 o'clock in the morning. Basically, it's like dark. It's in the middle of the night, and Uraraka's family is like, okay, well, they got mad, but Deku told them that they're best friends, and then they're like, oh, okay, make sure she's safe when she gets back. And he's like, okay. And then Deku then hangs up, and Deku makes the bed for Uraraka, then made some food for both of them. Uraraka eats with Bakugo, and they start talking about what he could do now. It's time for them to go to bed, but when Uraraka went to bed, Deku waited in his bed in a different room until she was asleep. And when she was sleeping, Uraraka wakes up to Deku right next to her, and he is drinking her blood. And she slaps him again and tells Deku to not do that. And he tells her that he can't help it. It's just a thing that he can't help anymore, because it's getting harder and harder to control his powers and his abilities, and being a liking. And then they go back to sleep after Uraraka slaps Deku 15 more times, and they go back to bed. And the next morning, Deku done the same thing to use the same move on a bunch of other ones in his class, like Momo, Sue, and Invisible Girl, and a bunch of other ones. And it's been a week since then, and it's time for the Hero Killer arc. I'm actually gonna wait for that one. I hope you all enjoyed this one, this part of What If. This one might be longer, because I'm just making it a little bit longer with the vampire trilogy of Underworld, and him being a liking. Hope you all enjoyed him being a liking. And yes, he was a vampire at first, but he had a werewolf blood dormant in his veins. So I know I'm doing a werewolf and vampire one separately, but this is just gonna be what if Deku was a vampire still. But uh, but I hope you all enjoyed this one. So like, comment, and subscribe, and outro right now.